All right, so I'm live. Hi, my second video. First live stream that anybody might be watching. Nobody was watching the first one, but that's fun. It's no big surprise, actually. I didn't expect anybody to, and I was making the video more for people to watch later, just kind of get an introduction to my art. So give me just a second to set up here, and I'm going to get started working on my zombies. We'll be starting with the Captain America sketch. So I got to draw him as a zombie first, and then I'll be getting into the ones I did the rest of the week. Trying to change over my camera, sorry. There we go. All right. So I drew this last night. If you missed it, or if you're interested in going back and watching it, another artist named Justin Prime was doing a live stream of his artwork, and about 2 hours into the broadcast, I joined in and did a guest appearance and drew this. So came out really well. Calling it a night, and he invited me to stay, and this is what you guys get as a result. So thanks. Life of a Whitfield is listed there. That's my Instagram name. So follow me. Check out my stuff. I post a lot more on there than I do anywhere else. That's really the way to get in touch with me or see what I'm working on a daily basis. Give me 1 second. All right, so getting started. This is just the stack of the zombies I'll be working on tonight. I got Spiderman, I got Thor, keeping his hammer there, Black Widow, which isn't too complicated. I kind of want to do some improvements on that. I might touch it up a little bit. This one shouldn't be in this stack, because that's what I'll be working on. This is just a sketch I did the other day. Zombie Mary Jane for 400 followers on Instagram. Did this sketch last night of Zombie Hulk. And just in case you haven't been following me, there's a couple other zombies that I've done recently, just inks. So what you can kind of expect to be seeing. You got Gambit, Storm, Beast, Julie, Rogue, Wolverine, and Jean Grey, but I don't know where she is. She's not here. Anyway, my process is I do the pencils and inks on one page, and then I print them, scan them in, and then print them out onto watercolor paper. So this paper is a little bit larger, and just so you can compare, do a size comparison. They're clearly not the same size. So I blow it up a little bit, and then, so just to make it easier to work on. So it's not too much of a difference, but you can tell. I don't feel like it's important, you guys know. So if I'm ever selling a piece of artwork, unless I sell the inks individually as kind of like a sketch or something like that, I'd probably end up sending like 2 or 3 pieces of paper. So you'll have like the original watercolors and the original pencil and inks. Like that's sort of like a bonus deal kind of thing. I like it. I haven't done it yet, but it should be real nice for anybody who's a fan of my artwork when I do start selling stuff online. Which I do plan on setting up like a store very, very soon where you can buy my work, but I don't have the methods of shipping right now. I'm just not at a current stable address, so I don't want I don't want to have trouble shipping anything to anybody who might have bought something. I don't want them to have to wait too long to get it. You know what I mean? So if you're wondering why I don't have a store up and running, that's a lot of why, and also because I didn't previously have a lot of work to sell. I had only had comic books, and that's only one thing you can buy, you know. So let me go put these down. You hear some random noises in the background. I have 2 dogs in the room with me. They can be kind of annoying sometimes, but they're a lot of fun. Anyway, let me get out my reference photo for Captain America. Where's my iPad? Cleared out my whole desk, and now I don't know where anything is. There it is. All right. Captain America. I'm not using any special photo or anything. I'm just, when I do the zombies, I like to use the classic costumes. So for Hulk, for instance, this was my reference photo. So you can kind of see what I'm working with. Captain America, just classic Captain from however long ago this was. But this is a Marvel reference photo. So I'm just going to use that. I'm going to set it here next to me. And I want to warn you in advance that I just used that so I know what the costume basically looks like. Because that's all that really matters. I'm going to draw my own way, doing whatever I want. I haven't decided yet. We'll see how it goes in just a second. How to draw a zombie Captain America. Let me take this off. I don't want it hitting any ink or anything like that. So come on. How does it fit in with the other zombie drawings? So I want to incorporate a shield. Something I haven't been doing too much. I did it with Thor's hammer, so I can't do the same thing. So you just have to have his shield still on, I guess. But here we go. So I always usually start with the head. I haven't watched a lot of videos or seen what other people really do. As far as Marvel character drawing, all I really have was like a reference of when I was a kid and I was super into Marvel. And because I moved to a remote area and they didn't have any comic book stores here. So for quite a few years, I was just kind of without in that area of my life. And to give you a good reference for time, I was still buying the Marvel comic cards. And I haven't read, there's a lot of reading I need to do that I want to do. But as far as characters and stuff, anybody is welcome to tell me things about characters that I don't know. So, let's see if I can figure out how to get chat in here. I don't have any viewers, but I'd like to be able to talk to them once they do come in. So I post it on Instagram, so whoever's going to show up, it's going to show up. Captain America. Yeah. I was just rewatching the video I just posted, and I noticed like an Idaho accent. And since I'm here right now, I guess I picked it up a little bit. I hadn't noticed, but then again, you wouldn't unless you recorded yourself, you know. So it was something I'm not too excited about. That's for sure. So Captain America has a big A on his head, huh? I am drawing all the Avengers from the movies currently. Which I know it seems strange because I'm drawing them in their old costumes, but I have an affinity a lot more for old style comics as compared to the new movie costumes and everything else, especially when it comes to specific characters such as Wolverine and Rogue and things like that. It's just better when they're in a complete fantasy world. You just get to kind of, I don't know, I just like it better. What can you say? Old costumes are great, you know. You can't beat decades of character design and all of that by making a movie where an actor actually has to be dressed up like the person. So they've done cool things, but I'm definitely more of a fan of the old character costumes, so that's why I draw those instead. So his face is kind of coming out. I don't know why I refined it before drawing anything else. I usually draw the whole body in kind of a sketchy style before I get to any real detail work, but felt like it might be important to work on the face and get it out of the way. So then I work around it. Wherever I start my drawing, I work around that point, which is probably not the best way to do things, but it's the way I do things. So it's the way I've always done it. Sometimes it works out, sometimes I run out of page, and but what can you do? I just make it work. Whatever you got is what you got. I was on the podcast with, or not podcast, the live stream last night with Justin Prime, and he was talking about, you know, if you make mistakes, you just have to keep going. That's 100% true, always, especially with anything. I mean, you can sit there and erase and erase and erase, but if you do, you'll never get anywhere. You know what I mean? And the same thing is true if you make a mistake. You kind of have to make it work for you. I mean, that's why you do pencils first, right? You're supposed to have all your mistakes out of the way by the time you do inks, if you plan on correcting them. But a lot of the time, I don't even fix mistakes. I just kind of go over what lines I choose to go over when I'm inking. So not always easy. With that being said, I spend a lot of time sometimes correcting things that don't need corrected. You know, everybody does. I don't know what else to say about that. So I'm going to try and draw him kind of leaning on crawling on the ground, reaching. Here will be kind of the hand point, I think. Yeah, so let's see, get the neck in here, shoulder. Nope, that's not gonna work. So I use just a regular eraser. I'm sure you saw me take the cap off of the pencil and use the little tiny grabby eraser that costs too much money to replace at the back of that. And I'm on my last one. I don't have any refills, so once that thing's done, I'm gonna be using just this, which is I can get some precision with this. You'd be surprised. even though it's just like a brick. You do what you can. I'll say that. I'm gonna make it real rough here for a minute, and then I'm gonna figure it out afterwards. I need his body to kind of look like it's coming off the ground, if that's what I'm gonna be doing. Shield. I feel like the shield of Captain America is probably his most important thing to get right. I'm getting the arms all screwed up right now. See, and I race a lot. I have a very sketchy style. It works for me. A lot of people are very clean cut artists. I don't usually erase this much, but I'm actually pretty nervous, so let's see if I can get this right this time. I want the neck to come down. So, a collarbone here. Just got the right angle on this. This is. Making him too bulky. Sorry, I drew Hulk yesterday, so I'm kind of off, you know, just a little bit. And foreshortening. Foreshortening is huge. This circle's all messed up. It's not supposed to be a circle, for one. It's supposed to be an ellipse. Like I said, nerves. Still have no viewers, but I'm not worried. Don't care. Doing this more for me than anybody else. I'll go back later and look at the stuff I'm making, get inspired to make more. Foreshortening. I won't draw him. So I can get into the other stuff I'm working on. It's gonna take me half an hour to do 15 minutes sketch. But I had to reference photo. Reference photo up nearby so that I can then use it whenever I need to. I'll probably have to bring up a reference photo for the shield too, because although I am a fan, I don't take risks of doing something wrong. I want it to be right there in front of me so I can see it while I'm working. So I probably won't be inking this tonight because it's kind of last on my list. But set it up. After this, I'll only have Iron Man to do, and I'll be done with the whole series pencil-wise. So I just kind of draw weird circles for my hands. I need to figure out how to get better at that. Probably get a drawing book here pretty soon. Really start improving my skills. I just I hadn't had the time, and then once the time came, I didn't want to spend it. I didn't want to waste it. So I've been knocking out as much of my work as possible recently. And I don't know, it's going well. What can I say? So trying to figure out where I'm going to add the gore for this drawing. Every zombie needs gore. Yeah, I already got a pretty gory face on Captain America here. Since I did that. Have his hand be messed up. That's probably fine. We'll do a little bit here on the shoulder, just a little tearaway. With that, I just kind of wing it every time. I don't really prior think about anything. Don't do too much planning. The more I plan out, then the more time I end up having to spend on the drawing. So this instance, I was going to have him lying down, but it'd be just as easy to have him standing up. So why not? And I wanted his shield to be incorporated. I haven't been incorporating many of the props or anything. I know his costume is pretty distinctive, but I don't know. I still think it's important to include that. I want his arm to be doing something. But I don't want him to just be like falling. I draw that pose a lot. Let's actually, that might not be bad. There we go. Hands are always a problem for me. Just in general, they're probably the thing I redraw the most. Where am I going with that one? It's supposed to be going over here. I like the crunched up zombie hand. It's kind of just a regular thing that I end up having to draw, but it's always fun. There we go. So let me erase some of this stuff that doesn't need to be here. That's pretty much rough out drawings. Yeah, looking a lot better. Gotta get the star here on his chest. It goes from his collarbone, looks like, out to halfway to his shoulder. And down. Same thing on both sides. Doesn't have to be perfect, although it needs to be better than what I just did. So give me a second. All right, and from my understanding, I know the reference photo barely shows it, but there's like scales over his entire body. So let's start drawing those. And I'm going to pencil these first because when I go in with inks, I want it's going to look the same. I'm not going to change them at all, but I want like a rough guide because something like scales is not something you necessarily want to do first try. At least I don't like to, because if I get it wrong, it's wrong forever. I'll have to make a big old shadow across it to fix it. I'd rather not do that. So, but yeah, his costume is definitely the interesting part on Captain America. I love the character. The character's great, and I really like the movies. Just so, in case anybody's wondering, I've been watching Agent Carter on Hulu. No, it's not on Hulu originally, but that's where I watch it. So I don't know where it's actually from. Probably whatever TV station puts on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., I would imagine. Not that it's directly associated with Captain America, but it's I don't know, it's Marvel Universe, you know? It's cool in its own right. And very pro-feminist show, and I'm in full support of that. Strong woman in a time where people tend to think women weren't as strong. So it's good to see that on television. Just from my personal political viewpoints kind of reference. All right, so these scales travel halfway down the arm. Let's make a reference here. Kind of tone out the muscle. This muscle is going to be weird if it's a place where we're right now. There we go. So this is the long part of the process. Well, inking takes just as long, but man, what can you say? You gotta draw it twice. You gotta draw it twice. Plus, inking gives it that crisp, distinct look. With my art style, it really helps because the sketches are one thing, but the finished product is a finished product. And everything I do to it makes it better, hopefully, whenever I start a piece. So each stage is its own. For those who might not know, I've been doing watercolors for the finishing touches of these zombies for coloring. So as far as expecting to see finished colored product today, it's not going to happen. But it has nothing to do with the process, really. I just don't want to get into it today because watercolors take a while to set up. And I'd have to do that pretty much on a video on its own. So, and I usually do watercolor Wednesday. I was thinking about maybe doing that this week, getting it out there. But it'll be about just as interesting because it takes a very long time to color each one. So. All right. I got the captain here. Getting somewhere. So yeah, once I get the sketch roughed out, it's pretty easy to do the rest. But yeah, the pencils are going to take me a while, which I don't have a problem with. It usually takes me, let's see, the Nightcrawler last night took me an hour, so it usually takes me a little bit longer than that, but I wouldn't say too much. As far as inks go and all of that, I get a decent amount done in half an hour, and a lot of the time, that's all it really takes is a half hour to hour to ink. One of the zombies that I'm working on, it used to take longer. Sometimes it takes longer, and I don't know why. Just the speed at which I'm traveling, I guess. So, because it is zombies, I do add a decent amount of dark shadows. It's my style right now. I'm trying to develop more as an artist to be someone that people could be a fan to, but it's not always easy to have a distinctive style. I do lots of different kinds of artwork. If you watch the first video that I posted, that I recorded just before this one, I talk a little bit about that, the different art projects that I'm working on. And if you do watch it, you can definitely see the differences in style, and because I'm not just drawing in one style, I tend to switch back and forth to keep myself interested when I have as much time as I have recently. Apparently, because it hasn't really happened too much before, but it does help to give yourself different things to work on. But my biggest problem has always been, okay, so when do I stop working on one thing and start working on the other? So sometimes it can be difficult to multitask if you don't have the time for it, which most people don't, and I never really have. So I'm working on like 3 projects right now just because I can, and I don't want to waste the opportunity. But probably next week, the end of next week, I'll be slowing down a little bit. So not looking forward to it, but looking forward to it because it means I'll be working for money in my job. So can't complain. That's what I came out here for. I'm currently in Idaho. For people who might not know, I have a viewer, one viewer. Still have not figured out the chat. This is interesting. Oh well. Thought I was just mumbling to myself, which is a weird feeling. But I guess someone's there. I'm trying to figure out. There's chat. Group chat. There we go. So who's watching? I'll just say out loud what I'm going to type right before I type it. So. Well, this is working so far. I'll just keep going with it. I'm doing a little too much work. Scales still. Yeah, this is really the best part of the process. If you have a character like this that has something distinctive that takes a very long time to draw, right there. messed up. No response yet. That's okay. It's probably just watching me draw. I was really excited about making this video. I've never done any live streaming before this week, so it's a cool new thing. I don't have the best camera. I just kind of found this camera lying around the house, but I do plan on getting another one if I want to be doing it more often. I want all things I do as an artist to be professional, so I just don't have the resources right now. So, but that's okay. Let's make it happen. Hopefully with the support of viewers like you, whoever you are. Sorry, I feel weird. I don't want it to be silent, but I am just talking to myself. I usually am in silence so much, so this is a very strange experience. I've never minded having people watch me draw, so that's at least good. I need to stretch for a second. All right. You okay, Max? Sorry. My dogs are begging for attention. So if anyone's interested, I've been working on these zombies for a while. The X-Men ones that I've been working on are actually part of a bigger piece that I've kind of conceptualized. It's in the makings. Should be, as soon as I'm done watercoloring them and these, I'll probably start it up. It'll be a pretty big thing. You'll see it. But it's kind of like a collage of all of them mixed together. But it's in my head. I think I posted one image about it, like a thumbnail, a rough thumbnail a while back, but it came together pretty nicely and a lot faster than I thought. I mean, I've produced more work just in the past month than like a year before that, so I'm kind of burning through my projects right now, just for the best. The faster I can do, the more projects I can do later. So one more reason I'm pretty excited about this new year and everything I'm working on. I wasn't there for a while. I got kind of bummed out, and I chose to go kind of into writing instead of art for about a 7-month period. Wrote a book that wasn't any good, first draft anyway. Never did anything with it, and just had a bunch of things happen in my life that kind of deterred me from that path, which is, you know, who knows, it's a sign, you know. So, could be anyway. So now I'm back doing what I think is probably what I should have been doing the whole time. Wasted a lot of time. I'm trying to make myself more available. That's why I'm doing things like this live stream. Have more people know about the work I'm making. You know, it makes a big difference. I wasn't feeling even good about working on the Plagued issue 3, and this is a true story. At WonderCon last year, I went and I didn't have anything new published. I'd done a lot of work, but I didn't have anything done. And I hadn't even started the Plagued issue 3. And so at the convention, I was pretty bummed out, but no one was coming around or buying any of the copies of my issue or anything like that. So it didn't really matter until one person came up, one fan of my work, and asked me, you know, like, why it's been a year, you don't have anything else out, you know. Didn't say it like that, but that's how I always feel. It's like when I think about it later, I'm like, oh, so discouraging. You know, my self-consciousness getting away from itself. Anyway, I just like got really depressed and upset, and used it as later fuel to get back to work and start doing what I'm supposed to be doing. So it's and rejuvenated it a little bit. And Forbidden Tales 4, the current project that I'm inking, that's a comic book project. It's actually what I drew to kind of get out of my funk of where I was at before and all the problems I was having before. I just wanted to draw something other than zombies. You know, so I'm drawing zombies right now. But I feel a lot better about it. I got really down about it for a little bit, but I'm back in it now. There's nothing you can do to stop me. Fully dedicated. And I have a lot of fun now, where I used to just be almost soul-sucking to work on the Plague. I had a lot of fun working on this last issue. I drew also another just like fun kind of fact is at Comic-Con this year, while waiting in line for I'm just tightening up the pencils. I'm not even really doing anything right now. At Comic-Con this year, while waiting in line for the Game of Thrones like exhibit, they have an exhibit every year. Not only did I end up getting a tattoo at that exhibit, but while waiting in line over the course of all the days, I waited for about 16 hours in total. But during that time, I just brought my sketchbook with me, and I worked on the Plagued. And that's where I think I did like 16, 17 pages of thumbnails. Thumbnailed out anyway. I mean, it's 16 or 17, not pages of thumbnails, but you know what I mean? Like thumbnailed pages. That's where it started really coming together. I mean, when you're in that environment and you can get inspired by other people's work, it really helps. And Instagram has helped a lot too. And gaining a following and having people interested in my work, even though most of my Instagram following is from outside the country, but you know, that's not a bad thing either. I don't really mind. Just people who want to see my art can see my art, and that's a step up from anything I was doing before. I used to have the website and all of that. I just actually recently shut down my old website, kind of building this up as an alternative, because my website was never really anything well functioning or well designed, so it wasn't much to abandon when I was done with it. And that's my own opinion on it. I just felt like it could have been better, but it couldn't have been better at the time because I was just experimenting with things. Same thing as I'm experimenting with live streaming now, but I feel like this is a much more beneficial process. Keeps me working, and it gives people who are fans something more. I don't have that many fans, so I would like to have more people who could enjoy my work the way that I do. I like, I truly believe I'm my biggest fan. I'm also my biggest critic, obviously. But God, I'm gonna develop multiple personality disorder making this video, just talking out loud the whole time. I'm gonna stay silent for a minute. Just burn through these. I'm left-handed, and I always start on the left side, which is a mistake. So I always smudge my pencils. It's a worse problem when I ink, because then I have to smudge my pencils as I'm inking, just so that I don't smudge my inks later. But I haven't quite figured that out. If I was right-handed and I drew the way I do, I'd be doing great. But I'm crazy. Doesn't matter if I try and start a different way or not. I always end up doing the same thing. Almost done. Kind of going this. If you're interested in knowing, as far as dark shadows go, I don't add too many like big black spots with pencil, because I can always add those later. I'm getting better at that recently, so. I can't say too much as far as people to kind of follow and look out for on Instagram, but people that I follow that I definitely think have influenced me, I should say, are Becky Cloonan is one of my favorite artists. Just in general, she does. I mean, long before I knew who she was, I'd read a whole handful of things that she'd produced. So I was always like, oh, it's this artist again, and I never looked it up. I don't know why. Or it never really occurred to me to think twice about it, which is, I know it sounds stupid, but I was kind of just shoving as many comics down my palette as possible at the time. So Mignola is a great influence of mine. As far as my other illustrations go, I don't incorporate much of his style in my zombies or anything like that, but definitely can see it. I can see it when I look at my more children's illustration type work, especially the Lost Viking project that I've been working on. Which will be a kid's book, I hope, one day. Will be out in existence. I've drawn like 100 panels of it or whatever, so it's not gonna happen, but we'll see how long it takes to get to where it's something that can be published. All right, so just the shield left, and my basic pencils will be done on this. Let me just darken up the top of the head. Took way too long, I believe. I don't know how long it's been, but yeah, like an hour just for the pencils on this. Sorry, guys. Shield. I don't have a shield reference. I posted one on Instagram earlier. Let's see. Nothing special. Where's my photos? Photos. There we go. I like that star is just a little too big. I'll try and chisel it down a little bit. Okay. Here's the tricky part about circles. How do I do this right? Should be shorter on that side and bigger over here, but instead, which is all wrong. It's really nice. Not round in this corner. Yep, like I said, dead eraser. I think it looks pretty good. I'm just going to go with it from there. So that'll be my sketch for Captain America. Spent way too much time on. Signature right here. I just signed 14. It happens like once a week. Screwed up my whole signature. There we go. All right. Let me take a photo of this. And upload. So I'm going to take a second, plug in my phone, and upload this to Instagram real quick. 10% battery life is not good enough. Sorry, I have to reach under my desk. You can see my head. So, still have one viewer. Probably myself. I'm guessing it's myself. I've been on Instagram or anything to communicate with people, but about an hour in, so it's about time for a 15-minute break. So I think that came out pretty good. Probably tear it out here in a second and scan it. I have a scanner on the other side of my broom. I won't even try and show you guys because it'll be upside down if I did. But it's it costs about $280. I bought it earlier this year. It's probably the best investment I've made as an artist. So by far the best investment I've made as an artist. Asking my phone number. Okay, I don't have time to look at every post on Instagram right now. Just check out my followers that I got. If I got any new ones, I got one new one. So let's make this post. I gotta try this out. Still haven't posted. I'm like halfway through writing my post. I just don't want there to be too much dead air, you know. I'd rather that go up late since I'm recording this whole thing. And I might take it down later and edit it a little bit. Well, after all, I need to take breaks and everything, so any gaps in time where I'm not actually at the screen, I'd probably end up like to edit out eventually. Also like to add like a title and stuff at the beginning, so it'll definitely happen. Can't say that it'll happen today. Find the process of posting and everything. I hope that my camera is all right. It seems to be okay. It actually captured the pencils. I draw very dark. I drew dark. It took more time just so it would allow you to see. Otherwise, everything be like up here, you know, where you can barely see anything. I usually tear things out of my sketchbook immediately after I draw them because I can scan everything individually now. I'd rather have them in a pile somewhere so they don't get damaged, because it always seems that whatever page is on the back, so you can see here, they always get damaged. And then if you turn it back over to something else, put it in front of something else. I mean, the chances of your page getting destroyed are pretty good. So. And I gotta get a following for this. Now well, it said I had 0 viewers. So I must actually have 1 viewer somewhere. New. Man, I use way too many hashtags. Adding those at the end is killing me right now. Takes me like 10 minutes to do a post sometimes. Zombie Avengers. Sketch, drawing. That should be good. And draw till it bleeds. There we go. All right. I still haven't figured out the posting on all proper channels yet. So I have to add in the link on Facebook in my comments. It's kind of the problem. I'm totally going to edit out all this dead air, though. So if you are watching, whoever my 1 viewer is, this part will not be included. It's more of a break. I'm going to get a different chair. The one I have is not working. So I'll be right back. Now I have 0 viewers. Cool. Lost a viewer. Awesome. Yeah, it's my own fault. I left. What can I expect? All right. Okay. So, Zombie Captain America, done. Back from my break. And I'm going to scan this real quick and then get back to work. I'm going to be inking. So, I'll pretty much only need this and an eraser from now on. So, let me get my sketchbook out of here. In other words, put it under my desk. Alright, so currently ink pile should be here. Not really. I don't want anything on my desk. Don't need it. Make sure these are in the right order again real quick. And we'll get started. Alright. I'm going to be using a drawing, like a pad, so it'll be a little raised up more than it is currently for the next portion. Just so I have a better angle drawing. I improved this Hawkeye sketch from yesterday. I know I drew it yesterday morning. So, but as you can see, I redid the arm here. It used to come down at this angle, basically. And it was just too long. And I want to incorporate the bow into the shot. So I didn't do much here. I'll do some editing more with the fingers when I ink it. But yeah, I just wanted to incorporate the bow and get it into the shot. So just those two things. But they make a world of difference, really, I think, in the sketch and the quality of the sketch. But like I said earlier when I was saying I wanted to incorporate the shield for Captain America, I wanted to incorporate the bow here. Black Widow was a lot more difficult as a character because just kind of a woman in a black suit. Nothing exceptional going on. Black Widow's kind of all about her guns, her little taser things. So I can't really do anything about that. As far as I couldn't come up with anything to do about it. For zombies anyway, because zombies don't hold guns. I don't need that. So I have 2 viewers now. Cool. Someone new. Or 2 new ones. I need to stop calling that out. Alright. So I'm going to start inking Spider-Man here in just a second. So this is just a top pad. Nothing special. It just adds an angle. So that makes it easier on my back. Because the hour drawing session I just did was no fun. So, let's get started. We'll start with his back. I want to start with the furthest to the right point I possibly can. And for me, I prefer to only use downstrokes whenever possible. Another thing I mentioned in the guest streaming I did last night. I have the best control with the downstroke on the brush. I don't know if the same is true for other artists, but it's where I can get the greatest quality of line in my work. So. And I'll probably do the framework and then add all the webbing in after, I think. No, I'll just do it now. Get it over with. It just means I have to vary my line weight. With the brush pen, sorry, you can see my head, huh? With the brush pen, it's, I forgot what I was going to say. Sorry. Fixated on not being in the shot. Okay, you can get lots of different lines. I recommend practicing a little bit before you start using it too much, and try not to push too hard, because it destroys it basically. But yeah, I mean, it's not hard. You just got to be precise and attentive in order to get those real thin lines. Keeping them one consistency is the hardest thing to do, especially going over long distances. It's not very easy. But like I said, I prefer the downstroke for that exact reason. So, because it's where I have most control. If I'm doing small details like this, I probably won't do them otherwise. If I have to, like, I'll wait for my inks to dry so that I don't smudge or go over them again while I'm working, because that can ruin a piece. Yeah, a quarter of a second mistake. That's all it takes. So, I'm going to shut up so I can go a little bit faster. No comments yet, but 2 viewers. If you have any questions or anything, feel free to ask. Be happy to answer anything anybody wants answered. Whew. Hooked there. If Dominic, if you're one of the people watching, sorry I won't really be able to respond to your text messages. It's hard for me to text and draw at the same time. You can ask Camille. She knows that well. I'm working pretty fast. I'm not too worried about what these lines are kind of looking like. Spider-Man's webbing falls a lot onto artists and whatever. I'm thinking of a word. Representation? No, I don't know. Whatever. I give up. Like I said, I haven't really live streamed before, so still pretty nervous about what to say, what not to say, when to stay quiet, how much dead air is happening. I think that's the biggest one. I'm just talking too much, but it's hard for me to stop. Because I'm nervous. Who wouldn't be? Just kind of working on his shoulder here. This is going along pretty quickly. I add a dark shadow here. Just gotta draw little web edgings. Keep switching between 1 and 2 viewers. Somebody's coming back to see what's interesting. Well, I'm just happy anybody's watching. So if you are watching, thank you. If you're not a follower of me on Instagram, my Instagram is Life of a Whitfield. Should be pretty easy to find. I will be posting finished photos of everything that I do today. Some of which will be posting tomorrow, just so I'm not spamming people's feeds and whatnot. But it will all eventually get out there. So trying to do a lot more of internet, social media working. This is the biggest part of that project currently. I mean, I've been running 10 to 12-hour days for a couple weeks now, so I mean, I probably should have been doing this the whole time. Anybody could stop in and see what I'm working on any time of the day. Yeah, it sounds fun. So, hashtagged with draw till it bleeds. That's my publisher's hashtag. Those of you who came in late, my publisher's Forbidden Panel. We're based in Redlands, California. We're not a big publisher, but you know, we put out our own work and go to some conventions and do what we can. I have a ton of new text messages from somebody. Live stream is choppy. Feel free to comment in the comments. I will see it a lot faster, and since it's there, but I do appreciate that, Charlie. I'm glad somebody's watching. Now I know who it is. The commenting on the comment speed is a faster way of getting hold of me. If you can see it, I don't know if that's a Google only thing, but I don't think it is. Should show me the feed for everything happening. And I just started on the wrong side of the face, so now I'm gonna have to wait for things to dry before I can finish this. So. But it'll dry as I work on it. Shouldn't be too much of a gap in time. And, but I don't know if a creeper, although I love Minecraft, I don't know if I could really draw one. Don't know how that would turn out. I might have to try it eventually, but I kind of doing what I'm doing right now, and I don't really take commissions or anything currently. For anyone who might ask in the future, and that's more of a time-based thing. I just don't have time to work on my own projects and commissions, and even though it'd be great to make the extra money, it really just takes away from what I'm trying to finish, you know. Slow and choppy. If the live stream is slow and choppy, it's probably my internet connection. It's probably nothing else, I wouldn't imagine. I mean, it could be someone else's internet connection too, but the connection here, so. But I'm trying to make the best of it, so. Trying to keep my hand from smudging any inks I've already put down. More difficult. You can see my head popping into the frame. Give me 1 second. Let me see if I can work with my settings. Bandwidth usage. Already full. I can do better flat while I'm working on it. I don't know how much that pad's helping me. My back's gonna hurt either way. Doesn't really matter. But don't be surprised if you can see my head from most broadcasts. Unless I'm using the cartridges, which I have one on standby just for this occasion, in case it does, so I don't have to try and refill it and you guys watch, because I haven't quite figured out how to do it without making a huge mess of things. So, and I've had the luxury of having bought new pens. I had like 4 new ones, so I haven't had to do it in a while. I had some spares, so I'm both out of practice, and not sure I want to look stupid on the internet doing that and find out that there's 1,000 times better way to do it later. So. But I guess nothing wrong with that. So, let's see. I asked Charlie to try and comment in the chat and see if the chat's working. There's been no response to that so far, though. No. At least I'm not even able to see on screen. Mm-hmm. Thank you, AJ. Let me try and figure it out. It could be because I'm running from Google, that there's no chat, so the chat might just be involved with Google, but I don't think so. I was on YouTube yesterday watching them, so see if I can figure it out. Question and answer. This feature is disabled. I don't want it to be disabled. Okay. I haven't quite figured everything out yet, so there is that. Let's see. Opening on YouTube. Yeah, I'm not seeing it. I don't know. Sorry. I don't know how to get back to where it was. But there we go. I have a chat window, but apparently you guys can't see it. So what is that? Something just popped up. Oh. It's okay. I have 4 viewers now. Thanks for joining, everybody who did. There we go. I thought I lost my pen for a second. Well, that's interesting. It shows it, but it says it's disabled. So until I can figure out how to enable the question and answer thing, I don't know if I'll be able to incorporate it. Yeah, thanks. So let me just type something real quick. Sorry, I'm trying to figure all this stuff out as I go. So that's a group chat. Yeah, it's not gonna let me do anything about it. So I'll just keep going. So I guess there won't be too much of a chat. And the live stream, so no communication, unfortunately. If I could figure it out, I would, but it doesn't seem to be working for me. Let's see if I can get settings. No, that doesn't have anything to do with anything. Just bandwidth. Yep. I have no idea. I know, Camille. Can't find the chat and understand. Nobody can find it. Apparently it doesn't exist. I'm gonna turn it this way because this side's already dry. I'm open. See, I got a whole bunch of pencil on me. Let me try and wipe some of that off first before I keep going. All right. Now that I've given up on the chat thing, I guess I'll keep mumbling to myself. I'll have to ask some other people about that, or look it up or something, because it shouldn't be a problem. I'm getting a bunch of text messages about it.
You're a cat? Did you hear a cat earlier?
Yeah, I'm live streaming on the internet, so.
Huh?
Yeah, just don't know how to go.
Where at?
I don't know. What's that? Okay. Drawn upside down, sorry. Just how it works sometimes. So. Down to one again. So I'm just kind of making it up as I go. As far as the gore goes, that's usually what I do. I've gotten pretty good at creating the textures and everything just offhand. It's taken a long time to get there, though. Been drawing zombies for years. So, and when I say years, I don't mean like 1 or 2. I mean like 3 or 4. So, you know, I've only improved since I started, which is true for anything. I mean, if you're an artist and you're trying to get better, practice really is perfect. And there is no perfect. I make mistakes just like everybody else. You would never know unless I told you. For a lot of them, though. But things I consider mistakes are people other than me can't see it a lot of the time, what they are. So never feel bad about stuff. Try not to give up on pieces. That's not a long period of time where I made work and then just abandoned it and it didn't work out. And well, of course it didn't work out. You're not ever finishing anything. Nothing will ever work out if nothing ever gets done. So man, I really wish chat was working. I'd like to respond to people instead of just talking off the top of my head based off what I'm doing. Excuse me. I might take a break after Spider-Man's done and try and figure out restart to a new video to try and figure out the chat feature and how to turn it on, I guess. But I don't know why it's a problem, so I can't fix it. My signature is not the same this time as last time. Yeah, so just about done with this one. Give it a few seconds to dry and then I'll go over it with an eraser. Oh, pretty good. I'm worried that it's a little dark here with the face, but coloring should fix that, any problems that I have there. So. I'm just going to try and blend this shadow in a little bit better. Creating a little bit more fluid reason for its existence here. Add some quick lines. All right, yeah. I think I'm gonna call this one good. Set it aside. Grab whatever's next. Just Thor. Crack my knuckles real quick. Get a drink of water. Make sure none of these text messages are important. What is so? Apparently, I've been sent a video on how to turn on chat. I hope that's what this is. Yeah. Put on headphones though. So, since it's a YouTube video, fixing YouTube with YouTube. The irony. Unfortunately, I don't think it loaded anything. Here we go. Come on. Yeah, sorry. I'm trying to work this problem out. I don't want it to be a problem for any longer, so. Okay, so. I don't think that this is helping me at all. And only because I can't watch it. Live right now. I don't know. It's going to be in my YouTube page itself. But the voice of this girl is driving me crazy. And it's not helpful because it's from an old version of YouTube. So whatever they did, they changed stuff a little bit. I'm going to go into the discussions tab and see if I can find anything in there. Nothing? No. Okay. Really wish this wasn't having problems. You wouldn't think it would be a problem. I have 1 subscriber. That's cool. Videos manager, maybe? Honestly, have no idea. Yeah, I need to be able to get this to work. What a horribly irritating thing. I'm getting more text messages because I can totally respond to those. Sorry. Trying not to be on my phone. You do not have to join Google Plus that I'm aware of to chat. I just don't have chat turned on. Commented on my video. So I'm getting a lot of comments. How long does it usually take to finish one of these projects? 19 minutes ago, I'm watching. Okay. So how do I display this? Comment on your video. Okay, well, DeWaste 510 asked me how long does it usually take to finish one of these projects. As far as comic book issues, they take a while. There's no real gauge of time for that. As far as a drawing, Spiderman, probably an hour. And really, that was like a 15-minute sketch, if even that, of Spider-Man. I mean, it's just a bust. And I busted it out the other day. I drew Spider-Man, Thor, and Black Widow all in one sitting. And it took probably about 2 hours. Only because Black Widow I had to look up a lot of reference, and Thor's these feathery wingy things on the side of his head, which were a lot of fun to draw, were also a lot of fun to look up on the internet. Just because I wanted to get them in a style that I would like, instead of a lot of pictures don't have close-ups or anything of it, so you kind of have to interpret it yourself. That's a little harder. But watercolors can take anywhere from an hour to 4 hours per image. So that's where the time really goes in. Let me get back to trying to figure out how to enable this so I can see it while you guys are posting these comments. But I appreciate them being listed. How long did you finish one of these projects? I just clicked that, and then what is this bringing me to? Live events, live chat room. I am going to be viewing myself. I don't want to do that. Please don't do this. Let me get back to trying to figure out how to enable this so I can see it stop. Okay. Actions. Oh, I have no idea. But honestly, it's delaying me more and more. And I just have no idea. It's telling me this introduction video. So I should pause it. Channel settings. Maybe. Words. Channel to appear. Just going. Okay, so none of that helps me. I'll just have to find it later. I've been drawing for so long. I don't want to get delayed for any longer than I already am. So I'm just going to get back to it. I'll figure it out tonight. My next video will definitely have chat, but I don't want to waste any more time on it than I already have. It's kind of bumming me out. But obviously this group chat is only for Google, so I do have that figured out and turned on, but as far as question answered, it says the feature is disabled and it gives me no options whatsoever for enabling it. So it's not helping me in any feature for doing it. So I'm just gonna go back to drawing. Sorry. But people were able to comment, and I was able to see those comments. So I'm gonna try and go back to where real quick, so I can see that at least. Videos, paid content ID, custom thumbnails. Relevance enabled in the Spider videos. I don't know. Advanced maybe. I'm really I'm new to YouTube completely, so this is not something I'm used to or done before. No views, that's a lie. I do not want to play the video. Do not play it. Okay, whatever. Yeah, like I said, just go back to drawing. That's what I should be doing before I do something on accident that cuts out the video or something stupid like that. I'm just going to jump right back in and try and knock this one out a little bit faster. I'm sorry for anybody who was watching my first broadcast that just had to deal with all of that. Especially if you're not someone I already know, because I'm assuming most of my viewers are, but I'm not sure who the person commenting in the comments was earlier, so. Zombie Thor. This one was fun to draw. And I got to draw something that made me laugh, which is not something I usually get to do. So that was kind of nice. Dominic, I'm pretty sure The Last of Us is already a thing. Seeing your text down there, pretty sure that's already something. Can't be my next comic book, that's for sure. So just because the chat's not working and everything, I'm probably going to end my broadcast at 7. That was my original planned end time. That's been about 50 minutes. So I'll probably have finished up Thor and maybe I'll probably just, what's next? Black Widow's next. So when I'm done with her, Thor doesn't take me too long, which it shouldn't. I'll probably call it quits for the broadcast anyway. Just because of that problem, I don't know if, well, that's the whole point of a live stream, right? Is that you respond to comments and people can talk. I might as well just be making a video, I guess, but first time for everything, and I'll figure it out. I just I can't run a video at the same time as streaming because my internet connection is so bad. So I just don't want to risk it cutting out completely and unnecessarily. So. Sorry, I'm not talking a lot. I'm just trying to get this done. Make up for lost time, I guess. Yeah, it takes a while to draw these. I mean, I'm not like incredibly fast at it. By some people's standards, I guess I am, but I've just got a decent amount of experience under my belt. And that would be the only attributing factor to that. So. I feel kind of bad when my stepdad was in here earlier. I was kind of rude to him, but didn't mean him talking about cats on the internet. The internet's got enough cats. I might just end the broadcast after this video, actually, because I need to take a break and stretch my back, give it a rest. This is it's not my normal chair I sit in, so just to give me a better angle at drawing, I've been using this one. So actually, I'm gonna switch back to this thing. Yeah, totally just did both sides of this. So it started over here where I was supposed to start, and then went over here where I wasn't supposed to do any work. Now the middle ground is off limits because I can't touch it with any part of my hand for probably like 10 minutes. So I'm going to try and do this area over here. Should be able to knock it out while I wait for that to dry. My brush pen's running a little low on ink. I know you guys can't really see the difference, but it takes a couple more strokes for me to get the lines that I want out of it. So. pencil on my hand. Don't want that on my drawing either. There's a finger there. So I need to draw that in before I make any more mistakes. As far as what reference I use for Thor, I just chose the classic Thor. I literally just typed in Marvel Thor, and same as Captain America, I just kind of chose the classic looking costume picture Marvel Archive records. Sometimes my brush pen, because this one's the one I've been literally using since October and before, occasionally the tip bristles will split. So if you see marks on my hand, that's just me getting the bristles back together. So one line instead of two right next to each other. So just me saving my own ass because I like my already worn down tools too much to get rid of them and use new ones. I'll use it till it's dead. Completely dead. But it's cool because I can create a whole body of work with one pen. I recently lost my mechanical pencil that I'd been using for all of the Plagued. That was a real bummer when that happened. I also couldn't draw for like 3 days because I had to find new pencils while I ordered some online. And even then when I did, I was using like $1 for a 10-pack Bic mechanical pencils from Walmart. So, not really the same feeling in your hand. You wouldn't think it makes a difference. It doesn't make a difference as to what I'm drawing, but it makes a difference to me as the person using the tool.
Aww.
I think my dogs want out of this room. Hold on a second. Sorry about that. I'm sure they'll barge in another minute or two. They know how to open the door. I don't have a lock, so they just headbutt it real hard and it comes open. But I'm typically pretty undisturbed, so besides the dogs, shouldn't be a lot of noise or traffic in the hallway or anything. Once I get back to California, though, I can't guarantee my sound quality unless I get a much better microphone. At least for live streams, because there's so much sound that a microphone could pick up from living in a city. This is dry, right? Yeah, dry enough. But it is something I plan to figure out and set up right away when I get back out there. I'm sure you can't see it, but I just made a double line because of the brush. Typically just go with it to make almost the finest lines that I can make using that accidental tool. It's funny, I feel like I've drawn nothing but angry people for years, but that's because zombies aren't very happy. Brush keeps separating. Makes it a little hard to get fine lines when you're making two instead of one. Come on, brush. There we go. Now I gotta fix this black area that I created. It's having problems. Deep shadows around the eye. Just carve it in here. Yeah, I've been going on walks to kind of get away from my desk, but can't walk while streaming, so. But most of the time I'm here all day. Back to the question I read in my comments earlier. I can't see my comments now, obviously. But the viewer asked how long it takes me to finish each project. Now, I kind of label projects differently than most people. I don't consider projects to be one piece necessarily. I don't know how long it'll take me to finish my current projects with prints, this being part of that. But I also don't know if it'll ever be done. Currently, I was planning on doing one zombie a week for the whole year. I've been doing a lot more than that. I've been doing like 5 a week for 2 weeks, but that happens. If I get ahead on it, at least I could say that I did it when it's done. You know. I don't know what else to say about that. As far as comics go, it really does take like an eternity. I mean, it depends, but I do all the work. So from start to finish, when I work on comics, I'm the writer, I'm the pencilist, I'm the inker, I'm the colorist, and do believe me that those are all different jobs. And if you're looking at Marvel or anything like that, most of the time you've got at least a colorist and someone doing the pencils and inks, at least. Most of the time you got someone doing each little thing. So you got a pencilist, an inker, you got a colorist, you got a letterer, you know, you got the writer of the piece, you know. And it's all a massive collaboration, which is a wonderful thing. That's one of my favorite things about comics, is the fact that for real great work to be made on this scale and the speed that is required of people, it takes collaboration, artistic collaboration, that I don't think you really find within many other mediums. I mean, film obviously takes thousands of people, or can, but as far as making art, comic books is kind of unique in that way. Because you really do, you move from one person to the next, and everybody has their job. And if one person doesn't do their job, the whole book gets delayed. So when you're someone like me, who's doing all the work for a book, it's a little more challenging, because, I mean, you're doing the jobs of like 6 people. So you can expect it to take that just as that many times as long, you know. It's roughly, I say roughly because there's no defining. It usually takes me about a year to produce one issue, with my everyday schedules of unfortunate having to go to work and everything else. Because you can't work on it every day. In California, my life is very busy. I have the luxury out here of having a very chilled out existence comparatively, which has been nice, but also miss family and friends and every aspect of my life not here. So even though I'm going to be sad that I won't have as much free time, I will definitely be happy to go back when I do. Which, for those of you who don't know, I'm in Idaho. Come out here to work with family and help out family financially and whatnot. Can't say how well it's worked out, but I am doing it. I have made a ton of artwork just because I've been able to be here and had the time, so for nothing else, that's been good for that. My portfolio is kind of blossoming right now. Whew. Only got a little bit left on this. Kind of come together here at the end. Okay, I need to communicate. First, I was talking too much. Now I'm kind of on this lapse of not talking at all. I apologize for that. Zombie Thor is coming together. Almost finished. I just am ready for a break. Chair's killing my spine. I'll have to find a happier alternative. I was trying out different chairs from around my house. The one I was using before gives me better height over the drawing, but this one's a little more comfortable, but because I already sat in the other one for so long, it's, damage is already done, so to speak. What a weird angle on this hand I chose. Interesting. The wrist is like broken, but that's okay. It's a zombie. Anyway, so I've stayed pretty continuously at, according to Google, one viewer, which is fine. Sorry if I wasn't able to answer any questions or anything live. I'll be working on that and trying to get it working a lot better very soon. I'm going to try and do another live stream later this week. Not sure what day, just because on Tuesday I'm getting my wisdom teeth removed, so I won't really be able to talk a whole lot for a good chunk of this week. So that has its downfalls. But I will do some editing on this video, so it's, you know, got a little bit less gaps in airtime and stuff like that. So more presentable. Just want it to be a little bit more professional. Although there is only so much you can do, and I did kind of mumble on and on for a bit because I don't have anybody facilitating the conversation, because you can't currently. So anyway. one little line to make. There we go. And just the handle of the hammer, and should be just about done. Another video might have been a little boring, but I just wanted to put something out there to get things kind of going. I haven't made videos before, at least not in this capacity, so first time for everything. I'm sure it'll get better as it goes. But for now, it's going to be good enough. My signature's kind of in the worst place it could possibly be over here. There we go. All right. I think I'm going to stop there just because it's 20 minutes till. I'll end a little bit early. No big deal. I'm going to figure out the chat situation problems. And hold on. Sorry, looking at this from your guys' viewpoint. Just want a little bit more here. The cape. There we go. And I may have made that just a little too much. A little too dark. There, balancing it out. Just giving it a little bit more texture up there. Felt like there wasn't enough going on. Still don't know where this happened. Things like that seem to happen on the paper all the time. I got a little bit of a smudge down here. Don't know where that came from either, but at least it's not here on the mainstay of the drawing. Let me go grab Spider-Man now that it's been scanned, and I'll erase the pencils for that and line up what I've done. Sorry, it's Captain America over there. My bad. So yeah, if you missed the sketch earlier, there's the Captain America I drew. Here, let me move this down. Get this out of the way. There we go. So Captain America there is a zombie. These guys kind of have the same tilt to them. I'm now seeing. That's interesting. So there's probably my natural zombie pose tilt. Almost the exact same. Interesting. And of course, you got Spiderman here, which I inked today. So, inked these two, and I'm sure this one. So, I probably would have got another one done inking wise, cutting out just a bit early, but also spent a lot of extra time on Captain America. He's obviously got a lot of detail work going on. His costume is a little more detailed, just naturally, so kind of like Spider-Man with the webbing. It's just anything can take a little extra time. Thor's got the hair and the feathers, and you know, everybody's got to have something so their character's not boring, right? So I might do another live stream tomorrow, doing a couple more, just so I can get one more in before I end up getting my teeth taken out and can't do one. But if I did, here's kind of what you're expecting. Where is the other drawing? There it is. So for next time, I'll just be doing inking, and it'll be these four. So, and in this order. So it'll be Black Widow. Black Widow will be first next time. And I'll probably do it the same way. Start off with a sketch, but I'll try and make the sketch a little bit faster next time. So it'll be Black Widow. Let me line this up flat. Yeah. You can see my computer a little bit, but it'll look a little bit nicer. Black Widow's first, then Hawkeye from yesterday's sketch, and Hulk from yesterday's sketch. Captain America will probably get put on the back burner for inking even another day, but I'll have that up as soon as I can, because that's going to take probably at least an hour to ink just by itself. But I do want to finish these up so that when Wednesday rolls around, if I am just unable to work, I mean, I'm going to try and do as much watercoloring Wednesday and Thursday as possible. I'm going to extend out Watercolor Wednesday to kind of try and get caught up on these, get more of them out there. So basically just working on my portfolio, getting things ready to start a website and start selling these to whoever's interested. So anyway, let me flip this around real quick. Yeah, so thank you for watching. You know, I'm just trying to start showing what I'm doing. I don't have it all refined or anything yet. It's going to take some time. It's a work in progress. So is my art. The zombies have gotten better over time, but I'm still not done making them better. So expect a lot of them this year. And I'm excited. I'm excited with what I got done, even though it wasn't as much as I hoped for. So anyway, thank you for watching. And subscribe since it's YouTube.